Yo, I'm Bob. Totally blind since birth into Star Wars, talking about season 2, episode 12 of The Bad Batch on Disney Plus. This one's The Outpost, 28th episode of the show overall. Spoilers ahead. Watch the episode before listening to my thoughts. Jumping right in. You were warned. So, we don't see too many characters in this episode, but it is a very personal episode in terms of the relationships that we see between these characters. So I think this is only the second time we've seen Crosshair in season 2. And he has to deal with a very unpleasant Imperial lieutenant named Nolan. They've got to go to the icy planet of Barton 4 and they have to retrieve some cargo, and this outpost is being attacked by raiders. I like that we get to see Captain Bragg again as the episode starts. I think we last saw her in, what was it, episode 10 of season 1. I think it was Common Ground. And so Shelby Young is back voicing Captain Bragg. I love how bored she sounds having to answer the questions of clone troopers. She would rather be doing anything else. She sounds like she just hates her job. It sounds like the things she's been given to say are very scripted, very canned in terms of Captain Bragg. I think Shelby's doing a wonderful job voicing the character. She's just not happy with having to do what she's doing, and man, Nolan, he is a real piece of work. Don't want to use the other word. So he's quite a character. He is voiced by Crispin Freeman. I first heard Crispin Freeman voicing Electro in Spectacular Spider-Man back in 2008. And I love what he brings to the character of Lieutenant Nolan here. Nolan straight up tells Crosshair that he doesn't like clones. He doesn't like used equipment, in his words. He's comparing clone troopers to outdated equipment. He doesn't see the clones as people. He is very similar to Pong Krell, for those who have seen the Umbara arc from the Clone Wars. And Crosshair, being a good soldier, he is compartmentalizing his feelings here. He's leaving all that stuff at the door. He knows he needs to complete his task, get those crates, and then it'll be all wrapped up. So when they get to the outpost, I like how shoddy everything is. And Nolan, he's blaming the 3 remaining clones for the bad conditions that they're in. He sees no fault in the Empire. No equipment has been delivered. They're having to work with beaten up armor. And Mayday, I think he's a new favorite clone of mine. He's calling Nolan out on his stuff whenever he can. You have this hardened clone trooper after the Clone Wars. He's still here, and he's having to deal with this mouthy lieutenant who has not seen battle, and he's throwing his weight around. He is abusing the heck out of his power. And Mayday, he's actually a commander, and he's doing quite well bearing up under this guy. And I mean, Mayday is having to deal with blatant prejudice when it comes to being a clone trooper. They're all told by Nolan that they're expendable. And when the action starts, man, it really does. We get to see the raiders attacking the outpost. The crates, 2 of the crates are stolen. And Hex and Veach, I think their names are, they bite the dust right away. So now you've just got Crosshair and Mayday. They're not given any reinforcements. Nolan doesn't care what happens to them as long as they retrieve the 2 cargo crates that were stolen. And the armor of Mayday really sounds like it's been through the ringer. I think some fan on some tweet or another had said that he's actually replacing bits of it with cloth. I like the voice effect that's used when Mayday puts on his helmet. It sounds like it's packed with static. It sounds like the helmet is on its way out. His voice is kind of fritzing in and out as he's speaking. It was a really cool voice effect. I think David Collins is working on the sound of Bad Batch season 2. I'm not going to swear to it, but I love what he's doing, or whoever is doing with the sound here in this episode. So we do get to see a little bit of action with Mayday and Crosshair taking out the Raiders. I love that one scene where Crosshair, he steps on a pressure mine, and we have Mayday. He's using the battered equipment that he has. He's adapting with what he has in order to save Crosshair's life. And all the while he's letting Crosshair know that, this isn't what they were meant for. He feels like they're just cannon fodder. And when I first watched the episode, I was wondering if Crosshair was just going to be like, no, I'm a good soldier, I'm following orders. And he is that way for a bit. But as the episode continues, he really starts to do a 180 here. So we get an avalanche, and we get to see what the Raiders stole. The clones here on Barton Ford, they've been having to watch over, unbeknownst to them, stormtrooper armor. As Mayday says, I'm paraphrasing here because I don't know it word for word, shiny new armor, shiny new toys for the Empire's shiny new soldiers, for our replacements. He says something like, we've been good soldiers, we've been following orders, and for what? And Crosshair, he doesn't know what to say here. And so, after the avalanche, you've got that really gut-wrenching bit in the episode where he's having to basically carry Mayday back to the base. Mayday's having to use his rifle as a crutch, and he's succumbing to hypothermia as they go. And he's desperate to get this guy medical help when he gets back to the base. But good old Lieutenant Nolan, he chews them out for not retrieving the crates. He says that they're not going to be helped at all. He's saying that they're expendable. And Crosshair, he's a normally a stoic guy, but when he says, well, he's going to die if you don't do something. Didn't you hear what I said? He needs medical attention. We get to hear him expressing emotion for the first time. He's seen what this guy's been through to serve the Empire. He's seen what Mayday's been through while he's been a good soldier and he's been following orders. And Nolan is just not caring at all. And when Mayday dies right there on the spot, Nolan coldly tells Crosshair that he's also expendable. And if Crosshair disrespects him again, if he speaks to him with such disrespect, he'll see that Crosshair meets a similar fate. So he's threatening to, I'm not going to use the K word because YouTube won't like that, he's threatening to delete Crosshair. And that scene where Crosshair takes the blaster and Nolan's walking away, and when Crosshair coldly calls Lieutenant, that is going to be sticking with me for quite a while, because this guy has taken enough from Nolan. And when he decides to blast the guy and take him down, man, that is a very chilling scene, especially when the ice vulture is flying overhead. We've seen these throughout the episode. I don't know if the writers are setting Crosshair up to be a death trooper. I think some fans have theorized this. I kind of wondered the same thing. Definitely wasn't the first person to put that out there, but they're doing a pretty good job of making me think that's where they're going, because vultures, of course, they symbolize death. And there comes an ice vulture when Crosshair takes this guy out. He collapses from exhaustion, and I love the ending of the episode because he winds up on Wayland in the Mount Tantus facility, and he gets to meet Dr. Emery Carr. I think she's a doctor. She may be an assistant. But, yeah, he's injected with I don't know, probably some kind of Bacta. And we are led to believe that he's going to be experimented on. And I love the way the episode ends. She, of course, seems impressed by what he's done. And boy, I love the way the episode ends. But at the same time, I really wanted to see what was going to happen with this guy in the very next episode. But next time we're going to be talking about Pabu. It's probably going to be a shorter video. I did enjoy it. But I really wanted to see what was in store for Crosshair in the following episode. And I mean, I've seen the two following episodes of The Bad Batch and can't wait to get into those. I love this episode. I'd give it an 11 out of 10 if I could. What a powerful episode, and looking forward to seeing what is to become of this clone. As of this video's filming, episodes 15 and 16 haven't aired yet, so it's still up in the air like an ice vulture, I guess. Till next time, guys, may the Force be with you.